So I'm number one, number two, number three TV show in America. And I'm getting somebody telling me that we don't know where your money is. Oh, hell no. I'm tired of this. So that's why we left.
Yeah, that few money.
And then the other thing was they wanted me to push this rainbow stuff. I said, I don't care what you guys do with yourselves, that's your business, but I'm not gonna push it. So then they kept trying to sabotage me. And let me tell you, the sabotage was dangerous.
Yeah, well said. Great points, man. But I gotta ask you about the Judge Joe Brown show. Why did that show end, if you don't mind me asking, respectfully?
15 years, and they owed me $28 million and wanted me to take an IOU. And what was going on is a lot of chicanery happening. I had a contract that said I got 45% of the unadjusted gross. The stockholders newsletter for CBS said I was their most profitable show, and they listed the amount of money I was bringing in, and I wanted my 45% of it. And they started talking about what happened and started going through all kinds of changes. So every year I had to go through this in and out of them stealing money. And then at this point in time, see, I was in a special unit of CBS. It consisted of Dr. Phil, Oprah Winfrey, Judge Judy, and Judge Joe Brown. And there was a guy named Roger King who discovered Oprah and Phil that CBS brought in when he brought in Phil and Oprah, and they gave him me and Judy. He called me to a side and he said, man, they're doing you wrong. See, he wasn't a Hollywood type. He was a former pro football player, and he inherited this from his dad, who invented TV syndication. He said, I don't like what I'm seeing. I'm going to fix this up. So the last 4 or 5 years, I was beating Oprah every day in the rating. Well, Phil every day in the ratings, and Oprah every week in the ratings, but Oprah's the superstar, not Judge Brown. CBS was saying I was their most profitable show and was greatly responsible for 14 consecutive quarters of increased profit, the last 4 of which were the most profitable in the entire history of CBS, thanks to me. And then when I'm confronting to them, they want to give me an IOU for $28 million. What happened to the $28 million? Well, they found out that the first CEO we had embezzled $25 million, and they didn't want the stockholders to find out about the theft. Next thing, they brought in some junior executives who come into a show that has been a hit for 12, 13 years, but they have nothing that they can claim as fame. So what they were doing was embezzling money to use to finance shows that they were setting up, every one of which was a flop.
Pay this man his damn money. It's beyond rare to have had a syndicated show as many years live, 15 years live as the Judge Brown show. In the last 5 years, had the most revenue generated. Most shows nowadays barely last 2 or 3 seasons. But these Hollywood weirdos, instead of holding the embezzler accountable, they made Joe suffer with that and gave the remaining money to interns without experience who threw the money away with bullshit shows. Pay the man his money.
So I was over retirement age. I said, hey, I'm over 65, to hell with this. I'm retiring. I don't have to deal with this. So I hired a lawyer. I paid him all the retainers. It was interesting. He also represented some other prominent figures. But I got all my retainer checks returned from his law firm because he turned up missing, and that was 12 years ago, and nobody's seen him since. They think he's dead.
Turning up missing seems to be a strong product of Hollywood. The Hollywood business has always been dirty, but shout out to Judge Joe Brown for standing out on business, the same way that you'll see a Cat Williams stand out on business and continue to expose the bullshit. Let's go.
So I don't like Mission Impossible. What they were doing was diverting money that I was supposed to get a percentage of to finance the distribution for all of the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies. It was like, where's my money? So in order to get your money, you have a contract provision that says you have a right to an independent audit, but the independent audit costs you $150,000, and it takes about 2 years to do. You have to wait in line. So what they'd always do is get with your agent. Hey, if he drops this, we'll give him a more lucrative deal. So at one point, they were holding me out as the highest paid man in Hollywood, white or black. So I started saying, where's the money? You know, I'm getting a lot of it, but where's the rest of it? So when they wanted me to take an IOU of $28 million, I said, go to hell. And then they wanted me to take a so-called cut because the ratings are down. I said, everybody is down, but me and Judy are running neck and neck for the #1 syndicated show in the country.
And Judge Judy was getting paid. At the height of her career, Judge Judy earned $47 million per year, and they're playing with his $28 million. Her contract allowed her to work only 52 days a year, so she was making that money for 6 weeks of taping. With each taping day consisting of 10 to 12 cases, this meant that she could film enough episodes for a week in a single day, earning around $900,000 per week. Shineland is known for slipping her bosses dollar figures in sealed envelopes across the table during negotiations. She has said that to negotiate for better pay, one must make themselves indispensable and have leverage. As of July 2023, her total net worth was around $440 million. I agree when she says indispensable and have leverage, and I'd argue that Judge Joe Brown had less leverage at the time, probably because he continued to stand on business as opposed to play their dirty little games. If they're neck and neck in ratings, then why is Judge Judy not owed money the same way that Judge Joe Brown is?
It's all relative. And then coming in third would be Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes it would ramp up so it was beating the both of us. So I'm #1, #2, #3 TV show in America. And I'm getting somebody telling me that we don't know where your money is. Oh, hell no. I'm tired of this. So that's why we left.
Yeah, that few money.
And then the other thing was they wanted me to push this rainbow stuff. I said, I don't care what you guys do with yourselves. That's your business. But I'm not going to push it. So then they kept trying to sabotage me. And let me tell you, the sabotage was dangerous.
Hence why I said that he didn't have as much leverage, because he didn't want to fall in line with the Hollyweird bull. This is the reason why I love hearing him speak, because beyond it all, he's still a man that stands on his morals. He didn't sell his soul, and he continues to be a man of integrity that should be respected. While all these other leveraged people sold their soul out to create this current woke-ass media landscape that exists now today, men like Judge Joe Brown took a stand to that shit, but then suffered the consequences monetarily.
I got an offer from Wells Fargo to take 6 mortgages and consolidate them and give me less than 0.5% fixed interest rate.
What?
Hell, that's good. Not even 10%, not 6, not 4, but 0.5%. So hell yes. So I filled out the forms. Next thing I know, here's the FBI.
Oh.
What the hell? You made a knowingly false statement on a federal form that ask you, were you now or have you been in the last 5 years subject of a pending lawsuit?
Now remember, he's talking about the sabotage. If there's one thing that you should have learned about this whole Matrix shit, is that from Hollywood to big banks, they're all in bed together. I remember how quick it was when Andrew Tate got canceled, from social media companies to big banks. Even like Uber canceled him the same day. So for them to go through these hoops in order to try to set him up is right in line.
Not that I know of. What had happened? 7 times I had been sued along with CBS, and they intercepted the lawsuit and didn't tell me. And they have somebody representing me like I hired them in court, and I don't even know they're doing it. And they're confessing me to doing something that the state Supreme Court said all of us would go to jail for if we actually did it.
Wow.
So I jacked their ass up. I just said, oh, hell no. And then, excuse me, who are you? This is the Attorney General's office for the state of so-and-so. Well, may I help you? Yes, you're unauthorized practice of law. What unauthorized practice of law? These bozos had hooked up with a legal form company, and they had a thing in there saying, ask the judge a question and he will answer it personally. Question: my neighbor has 7 trees that border my driveway. He won't trim them and they keep dropping branches in my drive. What shall I do? He's always gone on business. Answer: I would ask him politely to move them, and if he doesn't, hire a tree cutting firm and cut his trees down while he's out of town.
No way.
That's way wrong, and I didn't say it, but somebody's getting me for unauthorized practice of law because these clowns did it in my name. It was dangerous what they'd come up and do, and you didn't know about it.
The things that they are willing to do to destroy you if you don't go along with their bull. How you get sued 7 times without damn knowledge of it? How does your license get revoked without knowledge of it? All for the setup. All because he stood out on business and didn't want to push that rainbow agenda. Now, to continue to prove to you guys just how much business Judge Joe Brown has been standing on, this is a TMZ video from 10 years ago where Judge Joe Brown got arrested for contempt of court when trying to fight a family court battle for a man. Listen up.
Judge Joe Brown got arrested in court. Hey guys, it's Brian. So if you play hooky a lot, you're a stay-at-home parent, or you're kind of unemployed, you know who Judge Joe Brown is. The TV judge went to a Memphis court on Monday to represent someone in a child support case, and he blew a gasket when the court said that they had no record of the case he was talking about. We got audio inside the courtroom. Yikes.
Now you want to get into this, let's get into it. This sorry operation needs to stop.
It's being reported that—
And it's crazy too, like it's crazy to see TMZ, it's crazy to see the guy that they have up here, and this the way that they're displaying Judge Joe Brown as if he's this crazed lunatic, he's this crazed maniac, he don't know what's happening, he don't know what's going on, but maybe, just maybe, he wanted to fight for this man so much, and he couldn't believe that he goes in there and there's no records, that it pissed him off, and he got passionate, and he got active. Maybe just that. Oh, but y'all took him off because he didn't want to support y'all agenda, which clearly has won in Hollywood, right? So let's just keep—
Sorry operation needs to stop.
It's being reported that he full-on lost it and became so verbally abusive that they repeatedly had to tell him to quiet down. He ignored all the judge's requests and then in the end got himself arrested for contempt of court. He was cited 5 times, and then they finally arrested him and he got 5 days in jail himself. The mugshot,
Let's see that mugshot.
He's not a happy guy. I mean,
Oh, standing on business. Look at that. This to me is more gangster than that Trump mugshot. I tell you what, there ain't nothing that can strike heart into a child. Like my father had this eyebrow thing right here as well. When I saw this, I knew it was over. I knew it was business time. You understand me? It was time for me to stop the shenanigans. You took what? That's that daddy stare. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Mothers, you know, they kind of sort of have it from time to time. But when daddy give you that stare, let me tighten up. Judge Joe Brown ain't playing.
I mean, this probably can go up with the rest of like one of the best celebrity mugshots we've ever gotten. This guy's a courtroom judge and he's on TV and you'd think he'd like know his way around. And
nevertheless, shout out to Judge Joe Brown. The truth bombs that you continue to drop to expose not only what's happening with politics, but also in the media as well is instrumental for our own learning, our own individual understanding so that we can make the correct decisions with the truth presented in front of us. Being that this is the age of information, correctness, accuracy in the truth is all that we can go off of when we're absorbing the information. So we need truth tellers like you to continue to get active. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Guys, leave your comments down below. Light them up. I want to see what you guys think about this particular discussion. And until next time, YouTube. Peace!
You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jack. The big the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jack. The big the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. That bar need defibrillation ASAP. Get boxed with a straight gap. I'm reminded of mind state they lack. Every time that they incline, we go way back. All they wanna be is just